adrift. Precious Lord, linger near when my life is almost gone. Hear my cry, hear my call, hold my hand, lest I fall. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me home. When the storms of life are raging, stand by me. Stand by me. When the storms of life are raging, stand by me. Stand by me. When the world is tossing me like a ship upon the sea, thou who rulest wind and water, stand by me. Stand by me. In the midst of tribulation, stand by me. Stand by me. In the midst of tribulation, stand by me. Stand by me. When the hosts of hell assail and my strength begins to fail, thou who never lost a battle, stand by me. Stand by me. In the midst of faults and failures, stand by me. Stand by me.
In the midst of faults and failures, stand by me.
Stand by me. When I do the best I can, and my friends misunderstand,
Thou who knowest all about me, stand by me.
stand by me. When I'm growing old and feeble, stand by me. Stand by I'm growing old and feeble. Stand by me. Stand by me. When my life becomes a burden and I'm nearing chilly Jordan, O thou lily of the valley, stand by me. Stand by me, stand by me, stand by me.
A real good picture of old Emory Church in the wintertime. Then devastation hit, and a good shot of the burning.
I'll be satisfied as long as I walk. Let me
The
walk.
bell tower as it was burning. Kind of the remnants as they were burning. Some of the walls still standing, but this is the night of the burning. After it was all down, this is when they were burning to finish off the walls. This was the picture that captured everybody's mind. Christ on the Mount of Olives in the middle of the debris. This was the next day after the burning, the sight we saw as we went for our Sunday service.
Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Oh, my Lordy Lord, oh, my Lordy Lord, oh, my Lordy Lord, oh, my Lordy Lord. John said the city was just four square. Walk in Jerusalem just like John. And he declared he'd meet me there. Walk in Jerusalem just like John. I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be
The sun was shining the next day after a real jolt.
Oh, John. Oh, John.
And this is a picture many of us will never forget. You can even see the bell in the narthex or the vestibule as it had fallen.
I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be ready to walk in Jerusalem just like John. When Peter was preaching at Pentecost, walk in Jerusalem just like John. He was endowed with the Holy Ghost. Walk in Jerusalem just like John.
Another picture of the Christ on the Mount of Olives. This picture was tried to be repaired, was unable to have that done. It's a cornerstone out of the old church.
All my friends, I'm coming to walk in Jerusalem just like John. I want to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to be ready.
Thing we see, we have Bill Treacle and Walter Webster that are recognizable in this picture.
I want to be ready to walk in Jerusalem just like John. I want to be ready. I want to be ready.
I want to be ready to walk in Jerusalem.
Walk in Jerusalem. Walk in Jerusalem just like John. I want to be ready. I want to be ready.
Note that the altar rail had been placed outside.
Just like John. I want to be ready. I want to be ready.
We have Carl Keene, Walter Webster, Dick Street, Roy Hutchins, and Charles Perkins.
Walk in Jerusalem, just like John.
This was the back of the church where you went into down the steps into the basement. We got busy after that fire and got to work. This was our first bake sale, the lawn of the old church.
My soul a message he wants me to know. His spirit all divine fills this sinful soul of mine. When God dips his love in my heart. Well, I said I wouldn't tell it to a living soul.
As you can see, everybody got busy and brought their baked goods out. Had the sale under one of the trees. Now we're beginning to look at the fact of a new church. And this is looking from top of Emory Church Road down toward the... This is where the excavation is beginning to begin.
Dark and cold and trouble
Okay.
surrounds me.
This is looking from the old church site up toward the new church site.
I go to
And things are progressing. The well driller has arrived.
I know I'll find him there. He will
Also, the bulldozers. Take note, 2 are at work.
to my soul. Well, I said I wouldn't tell it to a living
Now you can see where they've been quite busy. Backhoe has arrived, digging the footings.
when God dips his love in my heart.
This shows the footing for what is now our furnace room.
The gospel train is coming, I hear it just at hand. I hear the car wheels moving and rumbling through the land.
These are the reinforcement rods that have arrived for the church. Also, the stone has arrived. Garrett County sandstone.
And train in every nerve.
Work is well underway.
No signal from another train to follow on the line. Oh, sinner, you're forever lost.
Walls are going up. Wind is being put in place. These are laminated trusses that have arrived for the sanctuary. Trusses are being separated to go in place.
All can go. The rich and poor are there. No second class.
And there's the beginning of getting those trusses up.
No difference.
Lots of onlookers too. Several trusses are in place and more to come.
shout all over our sorrows and sing.
Love this picture.
With Christ and all his army on that celestial shore. Get on board, little children, get on together, little children, get on board, little children. There's room for many a more. Get on board.
The beginning of our new Emory church.
Get on board, little children. There's room for many a more.
Sunday school wing in place. Trusses all up, looking from Emory Church Road down toward the back of what's now our church. There we are. Quite a shot. Trusses all up.
The Lord looked down from his window in the sky, said, I created man, but I don't remember why. Nothing but fighting since creation day. I'll send a little water and wash them all away. The Lord came down to look around the spell, and there was Mr. Noah behaving mighty well. That is the reason the scriptures record. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord.
This is beginning of the stone on the Sunday school wing.
The Lord said, Noah, there's going to be a flood. There's going to be some water, and there's going to be some mud. So take off your hat, Noah, take off your coat. Get Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and build yourself a boat. Noah said, Lord, I don't believe it could. The Lord said, Noah, get some sturdy gopher wood. Never know what you can do till you try. Build it 50 cubits wide and 30 cubits high.
Looking toward the front of the Sunday school wing, the flat roof is being put on at this point.
Noah said, there she is, Lord. The Lord said, Noah, it's time to get aboard.
This is from Emory Church Road, 80 Road rather, looking up toward Emory Church Road.
The Lord said, Noah, get these creatures in the ark. Noah said, Lord, it's beginning to pour. The Lord said, Noah, hurry up and shut the door.
Here we have Melvin Keene and Sam Ford Jr. looking at the work the day of the cornerstone laying. And yes, that's a close-up of my dad.
Noah said, Lord, it's my cry. The Lord said, Noah, see my rainbow in the sky? Take all your creatures and people to earth. Don't be more trouble than your work. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord.
This is the Sunday morning of the cornerstone laying. The choir is performing at this point. What an exciting day this was for those of us who had worked and looked forward to this day. Tom Starnes was our minister at this time, and this is Mrs. Annie Amos making a presentation to go in the cornerstone. This is Nancy Keene making a presentation for the cornerstone as choir leader.
And the night is as fair as the day. Oh yes, there will be peace in the valley for me someday. There will be peace in the valley for me. Oh Lord, I pray. There'll be no sorrow, no sadness, oh my Lord, and no trouble I see. There'll be peace in the valley.
There's the cornerstone in place. This is the beginning of a venture to pay this building off. Our first fried chicken dinner, Walter Webster and Janet Perkins. Again, we have Walter, who was our faithful money taker, Susan Martin beside him, and Jean Ross standing.
Shall be led by a child, and I'll be changed.
The dining room at one of these public suppers, Carl Keene serving.
Know that I am. Oh, yes. There will be peace in
And then all the people that were very good to come help us each year and love to eat that fried chicken.
there will be peace in the valley for me. Oh Lord, I pray.
This is two of the women that attended our craft room. And Mary Ann, they were sure some hot days frying that chicken. The fans were really a help.
For me.
Martha Glasgow and Mrs. Evelyn McCullough, as they were working in the little room, getting those tables ready.
Amazing grace.
They were some hot days working in the kitchen at Emory. We have Bud Keese, Ellen Stevens, Bob Ross, and Tom Scarf.
Once was lost, but now I'm found.
You can tell it was really hot. Bud Keese is wiping the sweat.
I know the Lord laid his hands on me. Soon I'm pressing on.
And oh, the pounds of chicken. Here we have Jeannie Tilley, Bob Ross, Lee Stevens, and Doris Messick that are recognizable.
Every day.
We even had a silent auction. This is Dawn Deffenbaugh taking care of that item for us. And then we go to some of our fun activities that we've had over the years at Emory. This is Christmas Caroling with Jeannie Webster Tilley, Mary Ann Webster Hutchins, Jackie Hutchins, and Nancy Keene Street.
His face.
And the good times we've had at our retreats at the Rocks. You find the Galbraith girls. This is Jennifer, Sarah, and Tina Galbraith. Joe Galbraith, one of the dads in the background. And oh, our softball games and how Carl Keene loved to pitch. And then our organ dedication, we have Virginia Martin with her two grandsons, Josh and Jake, Charles Perkins.
This wearisome land, there is no sickness.
And one of our up-and-coming Sunday school classes, Christine Harvey, Brock Jordan, Richard Randolph, to name a few, and Alice Richardson as their teacher.
I'm going back to see my mother.
And Mary Ann Webster Hutchins, our organist.
I'm going back no more to roam. I'm a-going.
This is one of our fun trips of the Jolly Time Fellowship to Washington, D.C. You take note of Virginia Freeland, Hope Ruff, Helen Amos, Rick and Jeannie Tilley, Cecilia Hamilton, Ruthie Jones, Shirley Laird, Dick and Nancy Street, Carl and Nancy Keene, George and Charlotte Baldwin, Virginia Martin, Mary Ann Hutchins, to name a few.
Who shed his precious blood for me.
And now our famous mini markets. This was our first one.
I'm a-going over Jordan.
We have been a working bunch. Look at this bake table for that first mini market with Judy Galbraith busy at work.
I'm just a When you give the best of your service, telling the world that the Savior has come. Be not dismayed when men do not believe you. He'll understand and say, well done. Oh, when I come to the end of my journey, weary of life, and the battle is won, carrying the staff and the cross of redemption. He'll understand and say, well done. Oh, when I come to the end of my journey, weary of life, and the battle is won, carrying the staff and the cross of redemption.